It's so easy as a leader to confuse leading and lagging indicators and lose sight of the main objectives of business. Years ago, I was running a series of call centers across the United States, and we were struck with a disaster. Hurricane Charlie wiped out one of our centers, half of the workforce in another, and so we were in full disaster recovery mode. Over time, blitzing the team, demanding with a surge of call volume because it was a healthcare-related business. And in that, I learned a painful lesson around the danger of confusing leading and lagging indicators and losing context to the overall business objective. You see, in the middle of a call center, I was very focused on labor, so controlling costs of workforce, and looking at SLAs with our customers. We had commitments to our customers around response time, availability, and the like. And so when we were faced with this disaster, the focus became zeroed in on the idea of, well, what's our call times? Essentially efficiency, and then utilization. I needed to make sure that the people I had were on the phone. Come on, go, go, go. This seemed to make sense. What I didn't anticipate was that focusing in on two operational metrics devoid of a broader context, while those are good data points to manage, had unintended consequences. You see, as I began to incentivize and monitor and celebrate and create bonuses around call times, people began to hang up on customers or rush customers off the phone prematurely, resulting in callbacks, but with more passion. Utilization, and began to monitor what percentage of your shift were you on the phone taking calls versus on hold or on break, actually caused them to take calls and then put the customer on hold and take their break in the middle of a call, again creating frustration with customers. And so while in the near term it created efficiency for that day or that week, it began to create an increasing volume, and I began losing both our SLA goals and our labor costs because I didn't know the difference between looking at these metrics, which are important to know, versus the idea of first call resolution. Did customers call back? Were customers satisfied? Did we actually accomplish the objective in that conversation? We ended up bringing in this global consultant who pulled me aside and said, Mike, you got to remember, you've got multiple strategic objectives you're trying to satisfy through this service center, and you cannot be satisfied by simple leading indicators like those, devoid of the right lagging indicators. From a perspective of operations, I had SLAs to make sure I was satisfied. Was I fulfilling our agreement to customers? I had a responsibility financially. Were we accomplishing the margins we needed to have? Was this sustainable labor cost to the work we were doing? We also had an organizational development objective to make sure we kept people and that people were thriving, and that realizing that when people are stressed, when people are working crazy hours, when people are not getting breaks, you actually have a declining quality factor, you have an increased error rate, you have a compounding of future business costs. And so without a long view on business objectives, I was confusing leading and lagging indicators at the peril of our business. There's lots of unintended consequences if we don't get clear on which metrics are informing our business, which ones are confirming that it's working, and to know what are all the objectives we're trying to steward here, and let's not let the wrong metrics take us off course and give us false positives or false negatives.